All right guys, so you read the title right. Today's video is on a $1,000 pair of in-ear monitors. The ones we're gonna look at are the Massdrop Empire Ears Zeus. Now what this is a recreation of the Empire Ears Zeus 14s, which originally retailed for $2,200 to $2,300. So technically this is half off. Drop did send an exclusive link for you guys to be able to use if you are interested in this product to get $250 off. So if you click the link, go to the product and you go to checkout, it'll knock off $250. So that brings it down to $750, but I'm still gonna look at these are a $1,000 pair of in-ear monitors. And also, just like with other Massdrop products, even though they sent an exclusive link, I make absolutely nothing from these, and Drop wants me to specifically review these on how I feel, whether it be positive or negative. So now that we have that stuff out of the way, let's check out what's inside the box and what you're getting for that price tag. Now on the inside, you have a fairly good size hard case. Obviously, with a product being this expensive, you want to make sure that it is very well protected. Inside of that, you have 5 sets of silicone ear tips, you have a cleaning tool, and then you have a cleaning cloth. They do have paperwork in here that recommends that you clean them after each use. It also shows you the best way to wear them. And then it also kind of shows you at what levels you should be listening to, because this is a very, very loud in-ear monitor. Now the monitors themselves are a very nice blue look. They are a little bulky looking, but they don't have any weight to them. So even though they are big, they don't really stick out much. They fit in the ear canal very well. They look like a custom pair of in-ear monitors. Everything is kind of accented in a silver or a chrome. You can see inside of the monitors the drivers that are on these. Now what they did is they're using 14 drivers total. You have 6 that are dedicated to your highs, 6 that are dedicated to the mids, and then 2 that are specifically for your lows. So you want to look at these. Usually that's kind of like a gimmick for a lot of earbuds, but these are finely tuned in a way where the best way to describe these are like lasagna. There's like 5 or 6 different layers. They're dedicated towards your highs, your mids, your lows, your sub frequencies. All of that stuff is doing the best way to layer your music. But we'll get into that when we get into the sound. So as far as the cable on these, it is a black braided cable, which to me looks really good with the blue monitors. The plug-in is an angled 3.5mm plug-in. I would have liked to have seen them add a 1/4-inch adapter, just because a lot of people that use these type of monitors like to plug them into amps, and there are a lot of amps that only have a 1/4-inch plug-in. So let's start right there as far as sound and volume and stuff like that. When I say amps, if you're using a desktop amp or you're using a more higher end amp, these are so sensitive that at times they're picking up a hissing sound. And that's because these are really pulling everything that your amp is sending to them. So I highly recommend, especially with phones or tablets, I use the Eco Zerta. This is just kind of like a USB DAC amp. This is the USB-C version, but they also have a Lightning version. This seemed to be the perfect match with these. Now again, I'm not using an amp to get volume because these get volume no matter what. I'm using an amp to get more out of the frequencies. But the way I'm going to review this is just like it is straight out of the box. This is a very highly detail-oriented monitor, which at times I think sounds way too bright. There's not a lot of emphasis on the bass. Again, it's more geared towards tightness and accuracy, so you're losing that emphasis on the bass where you have more feeling, then you're hearing it more than you're feeling it. For a lot of people, that's gonna be fine. A lot of people that like to accurately pick apart songs, be able to tell where things are coming from, be able to tell like all the different drums that are being hit, or if you listen to classical where there's a lot of strings and a lot of instruments, to be able to have that kind of separation is very, very important. And so also where you can kind of see this from an investment side, if you're a musician, if you're on stage and you need to hear everything accurately so you know how accurate it is that you need to sound, where your tone is, where your pitch is, it's very important for an artist that's on stage. Same thing with somebody that's doing recordings. This is accurately being able to tell what is being recorded, which also means it's going to be able to bring out if it is a good recording or if it is a bad recording. This will bring out faults. This will bring in details that for the most part you are missing with most other headphones. I'm not saying it's like a flat response because it's not. When I say that the treble is bright and harsh, it has a very bright sparkle to it, which depending on what you're listening to can be fun, but at times it can be too much. And the mids are very detailed. So if you're going to hear faults in vocals, which I think brings a natural sound to it, I think these are extremely great with mids. For me, where I don't prefer these is with the treble. I think it's just way too bright for me, and I feel like I'm missing bass on a lot of the things that I listen to. So speaking of bass, where it is very tight and accurate, it just misses that oomph that I'm used to with a lot of headphones and earbuds that I use. So I see these from an audio standpoint that this is an investment. This is a way to accurately hear songs or artists in a way that it was intended to be heard, and so not necessarily in a way where it's fun to be heard. I mean, you can go into your car and turn your treble up, leave your bass down, and just drop. And you can listen to your music, but it's not as fun to listen to it if you have your bass up a little bit and being able to feel that impact. It just adds a whole other element to the music that I prefer, that I don't feel these are capable of. Now, I'm not saying the bass is flat. There is a little bit of bump into it, but it's still so tight and accurate that if you're used to hearing music or headphones a certain way, it just sounds odd at first. Now, I did let these burn in for a while. I do feel like 40 to 50 hours of burn-in time if you use white noise or if you just let it play music. It definitely loosens these up, but even with doing that, I feel like the treble is too bright. So for $1,000 or even $750, would I buy them personally? No. Where I feel like for people that are spending $2,000 to $3,000 for monitors, that like to hear details, that like to hear extreme clarity, and don't like emphasis on the bass, these are absolutely geared towards them, and I can see the value in it. So this is where the line is drawn in the middle. Depends on your sound signature, depends on what it is you like to hear in music. All audio stuff is just not made for everybody. And these are not made for me, but I definitely see who these could be for. So guys, that's my review on the Massdrop Empire Ears Zeus. Like I said, if you are interested in checking these out or purchasing these and saving a little bit of money, there is a link in the description. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you guys so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.